Hey folks, I'm Mike, and did you know that Bog Grinder was a hobo? No freaking lie. Bog Grinder was an actual, honest-to-God hobo. The dude would ride trains all over the place, stop periodically, make a little bit of money, jump on a train, and get going again. He talks all about it in this episode, and it is honestly one of the most inspiring and well worth watching things that I have ever feel that I've ever recorded. At any rate, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I guess I found your YouTube channel in like 2017. Mm-hmm. And at the time, you know, my kids were really interested, and they still are. But we'd sit down, we'd start watching a bunch of FPV videos on YouTube on like the Apple TV, right? Mm-hmm. And
then I'd come on, and then I fucking hate this fucking
shit. You'd come on, and I'd be like, yeah, right. And I'd be like, oh, guys, we can't watch that one. Well, of course, since they couldn't watch you, they just got more and more interested in, who's this Bot Grinder guy, Dad? Why won't you let us watch him? I'm like, listen, and my oldest son today was talking. He was like, so you're going to interview Bot Grinder? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, can I come into the interview? And I was like, if we were doing it during your, like, a reasonable hour for you, then yeah, absolutely. But like, you know, it's going to be 10 o'clock and you need to be in bed because you got school tomorrow. But he goes, what's up with the tattoo on his forehead? And I was like, it's just, dude, it's just the, you know, he's got a tattoo on his forehead. What do you want to know about it? So I have to ask you, tell me about the significance of the tattoo on your forehead. It's my third eye, right? Okay.
It's my third eye, which is, you see your life. And then, but there's more to that. You know what I mean? I like to have, I guess, more of like a cosmic view on shit, especially when things get heavy. And I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, this is everything to me right now. All this is going on. I have to deal with this. If you can pull yourself out of that and kind of look at it from farther away, you're like, this ain't that big of a deal. You can see the more options. You can see why you shouldn't be so just, oh, I'm freaking out. Like, you can just chill. So my third eye is kind of just like to see beyond the normal bullshit that is all we can focus on. Because there's more out there. There's other ways of looking at things. There's other ways of approaching dilemmas and shit in your life, you know what I mean? And it's my transhumanist third eye. It's a robotic third eye specifically because I'm a transhumanist, which is, you know, technology and nature having to fuse together because humankind can't evolve fast enough to keep up with technology. We'll die and be left behind if we don't fuse with tech. So I'm one of the people that believes, yes, we need to fuse with tech inside our bodies as soon as possible to not be overran by AI and shit. So transhumanist third eye. Trying to see out everything else and not just like, you know, so grounded in the moment, can't see, or not grounded, I guess is the wrong word, but just so stuck in the moment of living this life right now that I can't see the past or future or anything else besides that.
It's like the key is to have perspective.
Yeah.
Like, and I get exactly what you're saying, where like you're stuck in this moment and the moment might feel awful, or it might be a bad moment.
Feels all you can focus on, you know.
It's all you can focus on, and it's like right here. And like sometimes you just need to take that step back, and be able to look at it from a different perspective. So
I forget to do it a lot, but you know that's why I try to do. Reminds me of it. Just like look at things a different way. Use your third eyebrow.
How long have you had that particular tattoo?
I got it in actually a video, or I didn't get it in a video, but I had it in my video. Lost a quad, got a forehead tattoo was the name of it, and it was like year one of FPV, so 2-3 years
it must have been a while ago.
It was that day I lost my only quad I've ever lost. Every other quad's been on a fucking skyscraper, anywhere. I found those quads. I've only lost one my entire career. Knock on wood. Bang the mic table,
Yeah.
But I even lost one on a roof the other day, a big old building roof. Got that shit
I saw that post, but you got it back?
Yeah, and the security dudes are actually drone pilots that fucked with my video, so they knew exactly who I was.
No, are you serious?
For real, yeah. Copper Top was there. He heard the whole fucking thing. He vouched. The guy was like, I know who you are. And I was like, cool, right on. And he's like, Bot Grinder. And he started saying my real name and shit. And I was like, what's up, bro? And he's like, yeah, my guys are drone pilots. I don't let them fly their drones here, and they're pissed because they said Bot Grinder, get to fly here. They know who you are. They watch your videos. They showed me your videos. He's like, it's pretty cool. So you like to dive down those holes, huh? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you can't do that no more. And I was like, yeah. I figured that, man. But he's like, you know, I like it. I just can't let you do it no more. And I was like, that's cool. And he gave me my drone and was like, I had to delete the footage of our building, but I didn't watch any of your footage. You know, I only looked to make sure our footage wasn't on there. I deleted that. I left you the rest of your footage. You can do whatever you want. And he was like super cool about it, and I got
That's awesome.
But I was like, damn, your employees are drone pilots that know who Bog Grinder is. Like, that's fucking crazy, man.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was nuts. Like, but I'm also like, why did these people hit me up to go fly? There's people in Philly that I don't get to fly with. Like,
I know.
I'm down to fly with everybody.
So how do you? I mean, what is the scene like in Philly? Like, how many folks are there?
We have 500 people in the Philly Quad Squad Facebook group, right?
Okay.
But we probably have 150, 200 people that fly drones in the city and the surrounding area. Maybe more, probably more than that, actually. Mm-hmm. But like our core group, I'm in West Philadelphia. We got people in North and South Philly. Our core group of dudes, if we have a big meetup, you're going to have 25 people there, 30 people, something like that. But there's a lot more that just don't. Active dudes, like if I hit my boys, let's go fly. There's like 4 of us that are down to fly at the time. Today, nobody could fly. Honey Tap, my buddy, could fly, but he don't want to come pick me up. My car's broken. So that's also why I didn't fly today, besides all the other shit. But we usually can find somebody to fly with. You just got to wait till they get off work or something. And then there's me, just like, who's off work today? Like, let's do this shit. I'm ready.
So could you say that you're West Philadelphia born and raised?
No, Southern California born and raised. West Philadelphia in my later days.
Sorry, I had to call back to the Fresh Prince there for a moment.
Oh, for sure, it happens. I've been fucking with Philly since like 2001, but I didn't start living here until about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Like I've been coming to the city. I traveled for a big old chunk of my life. Rode freight trains as a hobo and did that whole thing.
Did you really?
That's a whole fucking thing, yeah. Maybe I should have told you that before the interview, huh?
That's great. Like, let's dive into that. Like, you rode trains as a hobo, like that's something that you did.
Yeah, I was just like a homeless junkie that traveled around the country getting drunk and doing drugs for like 10 fucking years, and rode freight trains and hitchhiked and just like was homeless and just did my thing. I wasn't like sketchy. I was like always, happy. Have a dog. We'd go to cool parks and stuff and hang out and do whatever. But we just, I didn't like to fucking work. I always had a problem making a bunch of money for other people. I was always like, why would I just like work for you and make you all this money when I could probably just cut you out of this and make money myself somehow, So a long time I was just like, I'm just not going to work. I just panhandled. I tried to like go sweep, can I sweep your parking lot for a free pizza or whatever, shit like that. Just do like whatever. And then hop a freight train, cruise around somewhere else and do it all over again, wherever. There's actually, Vice, right? Vice Online did an interview with me about my traveling and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ran a website, like a Tumblr blog for a long time with like pictures of homeless people, and it was also about that. So if you Google like Latfo Vice, it'll come up, and you can read all about my fucking travels and shit.
Now, I guess you probably didn't go by Bot Grinder back then.
No, it was Crust Lord back then.
Crust Lord?
Bog Grinder was a name of a song I wrote for my grindcore band, and I was like, that's a cool fucking name for a song. So I just got the Gmail in case I ever wanted to use it for a gamer tag or something.
Right. It's a good name. It's a good name. Solid.
Yeah, so FPV came and I was like, I'll just use that till I think it's something better. I haven't thought of anything better. So
I was going to say, it seems like it stuck.
Yeah, I like it.
So, going back to the transhumanist thing, I know a lot of transhumanists, they get like implants and things like that. Do you have any implants?
Yeah, I got 3mm magnet in this finger.
Okay.
And then I have RFID NFC chip in my hand right here. And my front door lock is NFC, so I just touch my hand on my door. And I'm off.
That's like,
and I think I have my Bitcoin wallet address on here too, so you can give me Bitcoin from your phone to my hand, and I can transfer it from there. I think that's all I have on the microchip at this time. But the company Dangerous Things that was making all the implants hasn't really made anything new except for an upgraded chip, but I don't want to get another one because it hurt really fucking bad. And I'm like 40 now, and I'm not about getting giant needles shoved in my fucking hand.
Are you really 40?
I'm 38, so
You're
2 more
38?
years. I'll be 40,
Man.
yeah. And I'm just like, I don't like tattoos no more, man. I don't like none of that. Unless it's on my face, I ain't trying to get no more tattoos.
So how many tattoos do you have?
Well, I don't know. I had a whole bunch, and I just covered them all up with black on this arm. And I was going to just keep that going, but I don't know. A lot. Just random bullshit over the years, like the hobo life. You tend to get a bunch of just shitty tattoos from wherever.
That dude, that like totally blows my mind. I'm like, you probably have stories that are just beyond any.
I see some
any,
shit, bro. I see some
yeah,
shit.
I've seen some shit, man.
I mean,
Like,
this room right here, this shelf, there's a shelf above me with all these photos of a bunch of my dead friends, and I have the ashes of like five
oh
of my
man,
friends and my dog, because
yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna start collecting my friends' ashes when they die and make it this really morbid thing, so my friends quit dying because they're creeped out about me collecting their dead ashes and shit.
yeah.
Like stories, dog, bunch of crazy shit. And I made it though. I made it, and I'm not homeless and shit, so I'm not dead or fucking still living in a squat or homeless. I just finally something clicked, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna be an adult now. I'm gonna fucking do something. So I bought a house. I got a job, made a bunch of fucking money. Well, made enough money to buy this house.
How did you make that transition?
I was living in the basement of my friend's squat. My friend had broke into this house like 5 years ago that was abandoned from the city and shit, bank owned, and lived in it. So I was like, I needed somewhere to live. I don't want to be homeless anymore. And I knew how to get this. There's this restaurant I could work at in Philly. So I started living in the basement of the squat, working at the restaurant. And I had some other side hustles in Philadelphia, if you know what I'm saying. And then I just for a year and a half straight, just fucking boom, everything I could do to make money and put that shit away. And then eventually I found this house, and it was like 18 grand. So I was like, sick. Let me fucking like save up all my working money and shit. That was completely legit from a real job. And then bought this house. And then I was like, cool, not homeless and I'm employed.
That's actually, I mean, there is a, like, so let me move back off my perspective for a moment, talking about the third eye thing. I see like there's a lot of guys that are homeless just down the road from us, where I feel like the homeless population, I'm in Virginia Beach, and the homeless population has definitely increased rapidly over the past probably 4 or 5 years. And whereas you used to not see guys stand on the corner with the signs very often. Now it's like every corner you go to in certain areas, it's just there's a homeless guy standing there.
Yeah.
And
you're in a tourist town.
Yeah, we're in a tourist town. I have a hard time seeing the homeless guys, not because I don't like to see them, and homeless women too, but because like I feel like it's just a stroke of luck that I made it, as opposed to being, homeless on the streets.
Yeah, there's things. No, there's mental health. Is a big factor, and chronically homeless people say, there is just straight fucked up luck that you can find yourself homeless too. But me, like throughout those years, because I did it 15 years on and off. I was just riding trains, but I would stop and work. I'd work for a couple years or 6 months at a time and get a place or not get a place, just live in a bush. Like I've lived behind jobs before, basically, and shit, just because I was tired of fucking the road. I was tired of bumming money off people. So it was by choice, definitely for me. But again, I was just like, I don't want to make money for this asshole, whatever. So I've had a bunch of just all restaurant jobs. And it was like, okay, back on the road. I'm freaking out about society. I can't handle this. I'm going back into the woods and freight trains for more solitary life and stuff. But it is like I'm extremely lucky. I was able to live in my friend's basement and get jobs and make money to get out of all of that life. Because once you're there for a while, it's all you know, and it's really hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Like I never saw any of this coming at all. I was like, whatever. I'm just happy to live in this basement, not in a bush.
I mean,
so
for me, so the reason I say that I look at some of these guys and I feel like it's just a stroke of luck for me is the mental health aspect for me is a real thing. And struggled with addiction periodically throughout my life, and it until you've walked some of those paths, you don't know how dark they are.
Yeah.
And how messed up your head can get, and I look at these guys and I have compassion for them most of the time.
Yeah.
Try to help them out when I can. We got into a deal for a while where we'd all get up on Saturday, run down to the Hardee's, and they all hang out by the Hardee's, so we'd go buy biscuits and hand them out some biscuits.
Yeah, I used to love when people did shit like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just hot food, man. You know what I mean? Clean socks and hot food are two things you take for granted. Because even if you got food stamps, like you only buy cold food on food stamps, even if you have that, you can't buy socks. So just like freshy ass socks and hot food are gold.
So we did my kids actually. So like I'm trying to raise like these upstanding members of society, right, as opposed to entitled little brats.
Right.
And so they did this thing at our, so we go to a local church, and they made these bags, right, where it was like, here's some nabs, here's a bottle of water, here's some toothpaste, some toothbrushes, just different little items that you could carry with you that wouldn't go bad, that you could hand out. And they had just done it. We were coming out of the church, and we turn around the corner, and there's this guy standing on the corner. And I said, "Hey guys, give me one of the bags." And so we reach over and we hand this guy the bag, and you can tell like there's this moment of gratitude, but it's also like man, I wish there's so much more I could do. But my daughter in the back seat just started like bawling, and she was just like, it just hit her,
Yeah.
And so it was really one of those moments where it was like, okay, we need to keep remembering that these folks are actual people.
Yeah, definitely.
And not just an eyesore standing on the corner with a sign that may or may not be a lie.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, even if you don't agree with their decisions, if you're like, they're just going to buy booze with that, like, whatever, this dude's fucking homeless. Yeah. It makes him happy. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to give him money. That's definitely your choice. But, like, don't demonize the person for whatever. Right. Just give him your money. Yeah. Let him buy his beer or let him go to Arby's. It's his choice at that point.
Right. Yeah. I actually agree with that. And having struggled with an addiction, I know how terrifying it can be out.
Yeah.
And to not have that thing, and what kind of panic sets in.
That's how crime happens.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. Not enough mental health help, and just that, basically not resources in general for people that want to stop being homeless or that want to stop doing drugs, or all they know is crime. There's not enough resources for people of any kind.
Yeah. So like, looking back now, was the path that took you from being homeless and riding trains to where you are now, was that at all clear? I mean, or does it just seem like a random series of events?
Completely random. Like me, when I was just happy to live in that basement and have my cooking job, that was it. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is cool. But I wasn't content. A few of my friends had worked like big harvests, like sugar beet harvests and cranberry harvests and whatever else, and made a couple grand easily in a month, and then done like corn detasseling, just like hard ass work for like 12-hour shifts. Which I did sugar beets for a couple of years. I just blew all the money. It was dumb, but I'm just like, all right, man, like I'm just gonna try this new thing where I'm responsible and I work really hard and just save all my money and try to better myself. I set a goal basically. I'd never set a goal like that before, just a crazy unachievable goal, and work towards it every fucking day. FPV was like the second time that I did that, but buying the house was the first time. It just came out of nowhere. I feel like really too. I was like, no, I'm gonna buy a shitty house. I'm gonna buy a small house. I don't want to be living in this basement. I don't want to pay rent. Rent is a huge thing too. I hate paying rent. I hated paying rent. I'm like, I worked for this company, Bargain Network, when I was like 19, and we had police auction foreclosure houses and then car listings. It was kind of a scam, but we told you where the auctions were. And one of our lines was like, for the price that you pay in rent, you can pay half of that in mortgage to own your own home in 20 years or whatever. Just this line I had fucking spit out. And I remembered that like 10 years later or whatever, 15 years later, I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, I don't want to pay rent ever. Or that was like, I knew that and I didn't want to ever pay it, but I was like, I don't want to pay rent. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to just save my money and buy a house, or figure out how to get a loan from a bank somehow. Thank God I didn't have to. So,
and I guess you own your house outright, don't you?
Yeah, it was only 18 grand, so I just hustled that shit and bought it.
That's still like that. I mean, that's like saving up 18 grand in a year is no mean feat. I mean, that's.
It was like a year and a half, something.
I mean, even
longer about it. But I was like, just put away $1,000. I thought I was going to need 20 grand to buy a house. So I just put away $1,000 a month, whatever. Like I definitely went without a lot of things during that time to save the money to get the house.
Yeah.
But I did it, and now I have it.
So you've set and attained these two goals. You own a house.
Yeah.
And now you're in FPV.
Yep.
What's the next goal?
I set a new one the other day. Oh, thank you.
What is it? Tell me.
I want to do skate and BMX videos, but I want to like do them with drones. Like, I want it to look traditional, with like somebody on skateboards flying with a camera. But once they go down the rail, I want that bitch to pop up and like follow them like backwards down the rail and get those like crazy angles and stuff. I would like to be a famous like Thrasher skate videographer or something like that. That's the next goal.
Okay. I mean, with the technology we have and things like Cinewhoops and
Yep, I just built mine for that.
You just built yours? Okay.
Yeah. I just built one for it.
I was speechless. I'm not gonna lie. I was speechless when I heard this part of the interview. He is truly an amazing dude, and I am really glad that I got to know him a little bit and got to interview him. Anyways, in the next episode, we will talk about just all kinds of stuff. It's our miscellaneous episode, and I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Bye.